Have you ever felt misunderstood? I remember as a kid feeling like people just didn't really get me. And it's frustrating to feel like, man, these are my parents, my friends, my family, but they just don't understand. I mean, you want to be known by them. You want them to really know you. But no matter how hard you try, it's like you just don't measure up or fit in or identify with who they want you to be. And let's be honest, that's just it, isn't it? You want to be yourself, but you feel like no one relates to you because you aren't who they want you to be. I remember as a kid wanting so bad for my dad to be proud of me, for him to beam with pride as my father and talk about how proud he was of me as his son. I remember hearing my dad bragging to others about me, but never telling me how he felt about me. It's like we somehow weren't connected, like our relationship suffered because of what he didn't express to me. I remember walking off stage after putting on my own little magic shows at 11, 12, 13 years old and walking into the wings towards my dad with this huge smile on my face, just waiting to hear words like, "Son, that was amazing. Son, I am proud of you. You did great." Instead, I remember hearing things like, "That wasn't good enough," or "You're gonna have to work harder and practice more next time because it can be and it needs to be better." I mean, look, I get it. I know my dad loves me. In fact, he's now one of my best friends. He was actually the best man at my wedding. We now know and understand each other in a different way that we just didn't know how to communicate earlier on in our lives. I've now discovered that he struggled to express how he felt about me as his son because his father never communicated that he loved him. I think we sometimes struggle to connect with our friends and many times our families, including our fathers. And if we struggle to know and be known by our earthly fathers, it's really easy to get tricked into thinking that it's impossible to know and be known by our heavenly Father, God. But thankfully, God made a way for the truth about who He is to be made impeccably clear. Fish. They're in their own little world, aren't they? I mean, it's impossible for either of us to relate to each other. I don't have gills and I can't breathe underwater. And this fish has to have water in order to survive. What if I wanted to get a message to that fish? How could I do that? I mean, I guess I could try writing a message to it, right? Let's see. Like, "Hi, so..." Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work very well, is it? I mean, I guess the only way for me to truly communicate with a fish is to become a fish. Watch. I love this trick.
But what I love even more is the truth that this trick represents. You see, like this fish, the Bible tells us that God looked down on everything that he had created. And despite our imperfections and the mess that we made of it all, he said, I love humanity so much that I'm going to reveal myself to them in a way that they can understand. I'm going to become one of them. I mean, think about that. The creator of everything loved us so much that he came to live and walk among us. How amazing is that? Jesus came into this very earth as a small, fragile baby, fully human, yet still fully equal with God. And as you can imagine, it was an incredibly humbling process. And what's more amazing is that he didn't even claim any of the special privileges that one might attribute to a god, a king, or a ruler. He didn't come seeking financial wealth or political power, servants, armies, stuff like that. Instead, he lived a selfless, obedient life, healing those in need of healing, loving those who were cast out of society, showing mercy and grace to those who were in need. I mean, everything about Jesus, if you think about it, everything, including his birth itself, was miraculous. And trust me, from the perspective of someone who performs illusions for a living, those miracles can be hard to believe. If I'm honest, there was a part of me that thought, well, maybe Jesus was just a really good magician. Maybe he tricked people into thinking he was God, but was really just performing amazing illusions. So I started studying the miracles of Jesus. And I'm here to tell you tonight, from the perspective of someone who understands how to trick people, the only possible explanation for the stuff that Jesus did was that he was truly God in the flesh. I mean, supernaturally, he healed the sick and the crippled. Supernaturally, he calmed storms. He walked on water. Supernaturally, he raised dead people back to life. I mean, the fact is, Jesus, while possessing the power of God himself, was selfless throughout his whole life. And then he died a selfless, obedient death, and the worst kind of death at that, a death by crucifixion.
Sometimes we see God through the lens of our earthly father. If you were like me, it was probably hard to see a God who accepted me for me. I mean, I felt that I always had to perform. The good news is that I've come to find that God isn't asking me to perform. He's asking me to just to love him back. I don't have to perform for God to love me. With God, his love is unconditional. He just asks that we love him back. Know that God the Father is cheering for you. He is in your corner and he's crying out, I love you. The question is, will you love him back?
Hey guys, it's Harris. Just want to take a moment to say thank you so much for checking out this film series, Shattered. We were so excited to make this series available to you. I hope that you enjoyed it enough that you will leave a comment in the comment section below. More importantly, that you'll take a time to click one of those share buttons and share this video with other people so that they too will be inspired to shatter their illusions. If there's anything we can do to help you, maybe you want to dig deeper into shattering some of the illusions or kind of uncovering some of the deeper deception that might be trapping and entangling you, just send us a text message or an email. All the information is available right here on this page, and we look forward to sharing more videos with you in the future. If you want to keep in touch, make sure you share and subscribe. Hopefully we'll see you soon.